sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Both sides of a story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. It is right, it should be so. Man was made for joy and woe. And when this we rightly know, through the world we safely go. Joy and woe are woven fine, a clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pine runs a joy with silken twine. The strongest poison ever known came from Caesar's laurel crown. Naught can deform the human race like to the armor's iron brace. Every night and every morn, some to misery are born. Every morn and every night, some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to endless night. God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night, but does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day.
Watching the time of the I'm moving and representing myself. Wish I ever had to be the way I see this world running shouldn't have to be. Now every man's not is delicate and overflowing. Father, I know things are one from life. Sweeter than before. There's really chance that we could have done things, but it's not much so anymore. No. Come down, Father, come down. 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 In my heart, I know that you won't let your chosen people suffer. I know you never let us down. No, no, no. That's no fun, no. Sure ain't no fun, oh no. 'Cause I think what will happen if the other man thinks the same? Then bullets fall like rain. It's no fun, no. No, it's no fun. Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself. Only you can talk to them, Father, 'cause they listen to no one else, no. Come down, Father, come down. I beg you, come down, Father, come down, Lord. Talk to the hearts of those responsible. Let them know their actions are despicable. Remind them that you wear the crown. Come down, Father, come down, yes. I beg you, come down, Father, come down, oh, come down, Father, come down, yes. Come down, Father, come down, yes. Watching the time on the people, oh, one to the one, to nothing that you can do. These wrongs and their way. Woe unto you, and watch out for your day. I wish it never had to be the way I see this world running. Shouldn't have to be, cause now everyone's cup is full with hate and overflowing. Father, I know things are gone wrong, yeah, wickeder than before. Really believe we could have run things, but it doesn't look so anymore. No, come down, Father, come down, come down, Father, come down, Father, come down, Father, come down, I will come down, Father, come down. Come down, come down.
The timeless, ageless Beresford Hammond, Come Down, Father. And before that, the poetry of William Blake, The Auguries of Innocence. The month of March is still being observed as Intellectual Disabilities Awareness Month. It's also Salt Month. Cubans are remembering the revolutionary attack on the presidential palace. And around this week, usually observed as World Kidney Awareness Week. Here in Jamaica, we're accustomed to having the National Mathematics Week activities, and that fits in around now, National Mathematics Week activities and Salt Awareness Week activities continue. Hoy es miércoles, el 13 de marzo 2024. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mercredi le 13 mars 2024 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Wednesday, the 13th of March, 2024, and we greet you well Wherever in the world you are listening to us right now, we remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Your taxes hold the key.
Let's get digital. Get online with Smart 15 while and pay your final income tax return for 2023 and estimated return for 2024. There are so many options. JamaicaTax.gov.jm, direct funds transfer, NCB online banking, and Scotia online and mobile app. Pay your taxes the digital way. All returns must be filed online and on time. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Cliff Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Won't let you chosen people suffer. I know you'll never let us down. I could go out the street and play the gun. That's no fun, no. Sure ain't no fun, oh no. 'Cause I think what would happen if the other man thinks the same? Then bullets fall like rain. It's no fun, no. No, it's no fun. Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Good afternoon to Ricardo Porteous from Glengoff in St. Catherine. Thanks for tuning in. Norman Hines has joined us as well. Good afternoon, Norman Hines. Robert Young says hello from Orlando. Hello from Orlando. Where did that message go? Right, here we go. Hello from Orlando, Florida. A pleasant good afternoon, says Robert Young. Pleasant good afternoon to you too, Robert Young. Michael Morris says good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon, Michael Morris, to you and your faithful listeners. Michael Morris says, he goes on to say, welcome to another Wednesday on Both Sides of the Story. Thank you very much, Michael Morris, this Mikey from the Bronx in New York. Thank you for tuning in and all the very best. As we said, the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Here's a call on our text line, same as our WhatsApp number. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir, Malcolm. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm there going, children. Anyhow, what purpose the Attorney General Department serve in Jamaica?
Exactly what is set out in the laws and the Constitution and related material. It's not something you can deviate from. And if you make any corrupt attempts to deviate, that will trigger other systems and procedures.
Well, should I ask this question? What if there's a certain problem like they left property to take care of and so on, they will do it for you?
That would be the Administrator General's Department.
Yeah, but the Attorney General Department, I'm trying to figure out what role they play. I have a question. That's why I asked you that.
You're talking about the Attorney General's Department?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Attorney General, to put it simply, is the government's lawyer.
The government lawyer.
What's
okay,
that?
but
Mm-hmm.
I will listen to them on a program. Some people work with them on RGR, and I was surprised when the lady said they only have 2 offices, one in Montego Bay and one in Kingston. So the rest of parish, the people don't use their services.
Well, I guess they're saying either you're going east or you're going west.
But Mr. Malcolm, last week I hear a man tell us say he left town, left from some of the country, come and told me to pick up some document and it cost him $5,000 a day. So you can imagine if you have to live in Portland and you want the Attorney General Department, they have a left come to Kingston, how cost that gonna be? They should have office in every parish. Why they don't do that?
That's easy to say. The next thing you're going to hear is people saying why they have to have an office in every parish.
Yeah, but if it's a service that the people need and it's a government place, then they should have them so people find it more easier to go to them than have to travel actually all over the country to find one place.
So it leaves us then in a situation where it's up to the government to decide on those matters as to on what basis do you establish a structure, a building for the purposes of the Attorney General or the Attorney General's office. And you now have to trust whoever is in the decision-making process to come up with a solution to a senior citizen having to travel from Montego Bay to St. Catherine, for example, or from St. Thomas to Clarendon. So it will boil down to the technocrats and the decision makers and the policy makers. And it should actually be in consultation with the people of Jamaica.
Well, the problem is, I hear in one election campaign, them always tell them, say, Kingston is not Jamaica, the whole of Jamaica, Jamaica. So you can depend upon having somewhere just in Kingston, and then the man who from other parish have to suffer the consequence of can't get the service because and then in pocket a burn.
This is where the people have to insist. The people have the power to effect change. It goes without saying. And it boils down to whether the people care enough about that particular situation, perhaps brought up by one individual, as we always say the power of one can make a difference. Just one person.
So you think when I say a while ago, we trigger something to me, they start looking into it and put it in every parish?
If they are actually listening, there's no guarantee that they're listening to the program. But if they're actually listening and they care enough and are concerned enough about these affairs, then we would expect them to respond in a positive way.
Well, hopefully, because the song that you have to bury someone, there's a part that say they listen to no one else but themselves, you know? So I hope they will listen to me.
Well, so hopefully somebody takes the word to where it belongs.
All right, so hopefully them listen and something done.
We hope so too.
All right, bye. So take it easy until tomorrow. I have to go to work, you know.
All right. All the best. Thanks for the call.
All right.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon, Natalie Winter. She has joined us. Thank you very much for tuning in. We were in your neck of the woods a few hours ago, Natalie Winter, and we weren't broadcasting live. Let's see. Quite a few messages as usual. Let's go through them as quickly as we can. Leroy Robinson, good afternoon to you. And Richie Nebar, we haven't heard from Richie Nebar in a long time. His device perhaps is programmed to send out a particular message every single day. So there are always messages popping up, but he hasn't communicated with us in quite a while. We hope he is well. Richie Nebar, hope you're well wherever you are. And this one says, Nikki, good morning. Rick phone don't have to be working for him to drop off the castor oil. He just has to. Okay. So this is maybe a private message that has gotten into the public device that we have for these matters. But Nikki is the listener who she has created some spices, and she has been struggling, and she used the opportunity to create spices, and so that's what she's promoting. We have interviewed her here as well. After all, that's part of the entrepreneurship component of both sides of the story. So, Nikki, you might want to check that message that you sent out, or was it Mary who sent it out? You can check on that. All right, let's go through the other messages. Patricia Mackenzie Thomas tells us that her organization is having a social work conference. She arrived in Jamaica. She's now in Jamaica, not sure. Let's see. Corey Hyde is supposed to be with her as well from the UK. And they're hosting a social work conference on the 19th of March, 2024 in Social Work Week. And she tells us that they are blessed to have the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, in attendance. And they're obviously looking forward to our usual support by virtue of our diaspora-centric programming between both sides and the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. and naturally the entire Power 106 and the broader group of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group. So no problem. Welcome home, Patricia Mackenzie Thomas, and we'll be in touch with you and see if we can get as much information as possible from some of the participants in the conference as well. So we look forward to that. Thank you very much. All the best, Patricia Mackenzie Thomas. We'll talk. This one says, good morning and happy Wednesday. Well, it's now afternoon. Thank you for the morning greeting in the afternoon. Sharon Smith, good afternoon to you too, representing Hosemati Alumni Association, New York chapter. Let's go to the break. Let's go to the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Deposit will have insurance. It's an account that come with assurance. Let me teach you why it's important to have deposit insurance. Just in case your bank crash then. No need to put your hands for you. The 1.2 million you get for all accounts that's affected. Yeah, one room you can start it. Or throw a house party. Pay your mortgage with ease. JBIC is a smart bit. Deposit we bring safety. JBIC them protect me. Bank and billing society protected. The flow you must get me. Protect your savings smart. We urging you to come. Guarantee you need us. We take banking serious. JBIC protecting deposits for you and me.
RJR Gleaner Group.
The RJR Gleaner Cross Country Sports and Family Fun Day rolls into Montego Bay Saturday, March 16, Harmony Beach Park from noon to 6 p.m. Experience the fun at our e-gaming and board game zones, Kiddies Village, mini Olympic challenges, foot pool and beach football, plus free health checks. Win big in our jingle and dance competitions and live auction of smart TVs, smart watches, and more. To enter, cut out your auction cash from the Gleaner and the Star. Performances by Prince Saj, QC, Kemar Haikon, Admiral Bailey, The Angel, Maka Diamond, and more. That's the Cross Country Sports and Family Fun Day, Saturday, March 16, Harmony Beach Park, starting at noon. The RGR Gleaner Cross Country Invasion. 20 years of one nation, one family is brought to you by Delect Foods, Sunshine Snacks, Guardian General Insurance Jamaica, Honey Bun, Massey Distribution, H&L Agro, H&L Rapid True Value, Imca Jamaica Limited, Recycling Partners of Jamaica, Partners Heart and Health, Caribbean School of Medical Sciences Jamaica, Regional Sponsor, University of the West Indies, Western Campus.
There's another message coming through. Good day, Dervan. How are we, the taxpayers, going to finance an unemployment insurance plan when the government can't pay the teachers, nurses, doctors, and members of the security forces? Really? They can't? You sure about that? We need to use the money to educate the society in order to decrease crime and violence. Thank you very much for your message, your perspective. Marie says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. Hope you and my brothers and sisters in Jamaica are in good health. Mr. Portmore, the bakers were lacking knowledge then. The heads of government, do they know anything about farming or even backyard farming? Eat what you grow. You know what you are consuming. How is it Jamaica? How is it Jamaica? Soil is one of the best, yet we must import and eat our fruits and vegetables produce by others. That produce from empty pesticide soil. Them done a poison of many of the Jamaicans with already other imported goods. Run them with them ignorant ideology, says Marie. We hear you loud and clear, Marie. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. How come to develop the agricultural sector and less dependent on foreign imports is communism to be self-sufficient and help your fellow citizens to neighbors is socialism? Look, people are free to believe in whatever systems they believe in and whatever politically associated organization they choose to be a part of. It's called choice and freedom of expression and so on and so forth. Anyway, he sends another. He sends a rejoinder. He says, how could one person want to see their country be better in how the government treats its senior citizens and its youth? How could it possibly be you're called a communist to see your country do better than what presently is being handed down to the people of Jamaica? How is this communist? Well, you know what it is. So let's move on. It is what it is. So what? It is what it is. It's an ideology. It's people's way of thinking, way of analyzing and expressing themselves about the issues within the environment that they operate, etc. No sweat. No need to have a fight over that. You express yourself and you move on. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, teacher. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Mervis. How are you?
Good afternoon to all the wonderful listeners and workers at Power. How am I? I have not been too fine.
Sorry to hear that. Hope you'll get better soon.
I look like I pick up a mild attack of the flu or something.
Yeah, well, something has been going around for some time now, so anything is possible.
I give thanks that it wasn't one of them terrible one, terrible experience. But so it is with the human body. Yes, I am not saying anything about the budget. I am told to allow all the other speakers to come through down to the last part of the last presentation of the Minister of Finance. That's the command I have from the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I am told to speak to the Asian situation. Very strange. Eh? What the King said to me as I watched the television and saw this gentleman, this young man up there who said he's fighting for the liberation of Haiti from the Prime Minister.
Who you mean? Barbecue?
I don't know what name,
Yeah, Barbecue is his street name.
The first never seen him.
His real name is Cherizier. Cherizier.
And I saw him while the meeting was taking place here.
Mm.
And the King said to me, the God of creation, he can't say the God of the national anthem now. When I speak to Jamaica, I use that term because so we anthem different for everybody one. And the pledge, we use that for Jamaica, here and abroad. But when it touch the rest of the world, it speak to the God of creation. Now when I looked at that young man and when I listen what he's saying, he said he's doing for Haiti. The Almighty tell me that your motive could be right and your action so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said to me. What he has in mind. But then the next thing that came up to me, why that Prime Minister, that leader sit down there so long for so many years when he should have called an election? Yes? He should not have been there so long without calling an election after they assassinate the leader. But if you're gonna try to solve the problem, look at the kind of situation that his people are talking about. This frontline man. Look at the kind of situation that he's putting people through. Eh? You're mashing down the place, the people suffering in every farm, dying. You want people around you. Oh, how could that make sense? That the Almighty tell me if you ask him, how could that make any sense? And tell him to take a leaf out, go and read Martin Luther King book. Junior, eh? You notice how Martin Luther King the same thing? Non-violent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling him, you know, I'm going to hope somebody here and pass the message to the God of creation to tell him, say, he must stop behaving like him is a God. Because not take nothing for him, just lock down his heart and put him down. You have an idea where you're upset about something, but that is not the way to tear. The country is already poor. Are you tearing up the country like that? And talking about you care about your people. What people you care about? You have an idea about the devil getting involved in the situation and having you destroying your own nation. God tell me to tell him to go and read about Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah? That is what God tell me to tell him to pass on to him. I mean, hope somebody convey this message to him and tell him to die over Jerry. These people come out of slavery like the rest of it, don't it? Hmm? And that is no way to try to change something in your country. By destroying the country, you're poor already, you destroy the country, you destroy people's lives. Or earthquake come and mash up the place not too long ago. And then disease come in and all kind of something. And this is the way you think. You solve a problem. The Almighty is pretty upset with his behavior. And may pray somebody take the message and tell him what that said. Go and read the story of Martin Luther King Jr., who struggled for the rights of the black people in North America over the years. Non-violent. Neither mash down nothing. See? So, when I look at the condition as a human being too, I am pretty upset too, knowing history. As a historic person who has studied history from a teenager and love history, and that is what I love about your program. Not all. One of the very important thing about your program is that historical factor. Yes. Not just political talk, and whatever. But serious history, what we need to listen to. I am upset with all of them gang, they don't make the Almighty is pretty upset with them. No less than him upset with them out of Jamaica here, so. You see? And he tell me from 2014, go and make them eat one another with the gun. A young man in the car when we did the morning when the argument raised. So but miss it start already. God says they not put on them gun and go and make them eat one another with it. Yes? And when him come out of the car up at the mountain, the young man said, Miss, you know, so you changed my mind. You don't know what he was about today, you know, Dervan. But that was what he said when he came out of the car. The taxi. See? It changed his mind, but the argument started and I wasn't even about to get involved in what them pull me in the argument. Because some reason this taxi man and me going and taxi him have an attitude. And then the man say, give out say, Miss, every time you talk, me get pure goose pimples. So me say, see that now.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It could be both, either.
Good. Yes, on the line of argument. Yeah? Not him alone. This young lady, Glacier Robinson, was very ill years ago in Lindsay Hospital. And the most I give me a message to give her. And we did find her through Love FM and call her and tell her the nurse and we couldn't talk to her. And afterwards she said, all right, miss. Hold the line. And we hear her telling somebody in the background, so the lady had talked to me and appear goose pimples, me getting. Until went for Glacier and Glacier came back, told her what God said. And that was it. So from time to time I hear people say these things. Quite a few different things they would say about what I say. people would look at me and tell me me walking saying something. I mean, me not know them stuff there. I would talk to them and they tell me my voice keep changing. I don't know. Except the people say those things, I can't see them, I don't know them. But there's something about my life I got to do with it since in March I me out of the classroom. A lot of things are happening in my life somewhere when I ask him. I tell him, say one day my life look very abnormal. He said not abnormal, it's only unusual. Yeah, some weird things. You want me to make me understand people suffering. Not just read them, but to let me understand. So when people call them and minister to them, we must understand what is going on.
We need to take a break, Miss Mervis.
Yes, I'll wait.
Oh, one to the ones who think that you can do these wrongs and get away. Oh, one to you, and watch it for you day. I wish it never had to be the way I see this world.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Cliff Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
RJR Gleaner Group.
The RJR Gleaner Cross Country Sports and Family Fun Day rolls into Montego Bay, Saturday, March 16, Harmony Beach Park from noon to 6 p.m. Experience the fun at our e-gaming and board game zones, Kiddies Village, mini Olympic challenges, football and beach football, plus free health checks. Win big in our jingle and dance competitions and live auction of smart TVs, smart watches, and more. To enter, cut out your auction cash from the Beaner and the Star. Performances by Prince Saj, QC, Kemar Haikon, Admiral Bailey, The Angel, Maca Diamond, and more. That's the Cross Country Sports and Family Fun Day, Saturday, March 16, Harmony Beach Park, starting at noon. The RJR Beaner Cross Country Invasion, 20 years of one nation, one family, is brought to you by Delect Foods, Sunshine Snacks, Guardian General Insurance Jamaica, Honey Bun, Massey Distribution, H&L Agro, H&L Rapid True Value, IMCA Jamaica Limited, Recycling Partners of Jamaica, Partners Heart and Health, Caribbean School of Medical Sciences Jamaica, Regional Sponsor, University of the West Indies, Western Campus.
Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself. Only you can talk to them, Father, cause they listen to no one else, no. Come down, Father, come down. I beg you, come down, Father, come down, Lord. Talk to the hearts of
Thanks for holding, Miss Mavis. Go ahead, please.
People mix up this name Mervis with Mavis and cause me love trouble.
Miss Mervis, yes.
Yes, somebody lodged one lady salary in my account in the bank one time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing we gotta go do some business after the extra money has the bank where it come from. Then say somebody lodged it. I said no, nobody can lodge money to my account. And when I check it out, the lady named Mavis Henry. I mean named Mervis.
Okay.
And then end up like, I know the lady well, know where she work and I start somewhere.
But it's easily distinguished, considering that your first name is not that common. Mervis.
Yes. A lot of people mix it up. So in the post office, we had a student at school, mail to name Mavis Henry. And sometimes her mail end up with me and her mail end up with my mail end up with her. No, not with her, because the name Mavis. Cause confusion. All on the radio, the people calling me Mavis. Saying Mavis. My name is Mervis, not Mavis. So yes, back to this matter with this. You see this mind power message on me I preach for 30 years now, Dervan. Well, God said you see that meeting with them have downtown the other day. Yeah, Almighty say you can't do nothing for 80 except you do something to the mental capacity of the people.
You had a meeting downtown?
No, the meeting that the people came together, man. About 80.
No, that was downtown? That was Foreign Affairs? Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade.
Them hotel, them, the whole of them get up.
That was New Kingston, the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because one next thing, I forgot to get them to separate Kingston from the center and the parish. Yeah. Apparently, if they do that, they will better you ever deal with Kingston. Don't take my whole parish and call the whole life Kingston. You don't even know where Kingston starts and where it stops.
Well, Kingston is Jamaica's smallest parish.
Yes, it starts at Crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
And go down. And the whole of the rest of them are called Kingston 1 and Kingston 2 and Kingston this. And my important parish. And that needs to be separated. And treat it like the parish capital.
Well, it was merged administratively back in 1930. Was it 32?
I know. That is was merged, but I'm saying, based on what is happening, when me know about downtown Kingston, how it used to see and when we sit down there now, they need to take it off a St. Andrew and deal with it for what it is, a parish capital. You know what I mean? Fix it up, because the fact that you merge it in a St. Andrew, I think that is having a serious problem with it. So back to this thing, when the Almighty said to me while they were having the meeting, he said to me, something happened in the mind of the Haitian people. There's nothing that anybody on the outside can do to it.
How do you get that something to happen in the minds of the Haitian people?
Well, the Haitian people going to have to get, somebody going to have to go carry the message or tell them so. Or tell them so their mindset. Go and change their nation. People can help them change it, but we can't change it for them. Eh? Dervan, I have been through all kind of programs out here, you know.
So what is going to ignite that change?
I don't know, but I am sending the message. Because I wouldn't ever forget in touch with that man. Somebody better carry the message or give him and tell him, say, if him motive right in action terribly wrong. The Almighty tell me we must be careful of action, what motive action. If that person action can be right, motive action can look right, but the motive terribly wrong.
Could be misinterpreted as well.
Eh?
It could be misinterpreted as well.
Yes, we know that, but it's terribly wrong. You're doing something and it look like you're doing something good, right? But it's wrong. Your motive, your reason for doing it can be very selfish. You know what I mean? I have had, listen to me, we can sit down and write books, you know. Miss Williams always asks for the book when we write it. It's a whole heap of information pack up here, you know, about art matter or something, you know. So, mindset, Dervan, you see, when we run the reading program, was arguing for this nation, Dervan will tell me, so, when once you get the person mindset right, 70% of the problem over to teach them, and I say, so, mindset, 70% coming, they don't know the ABC. 21-year-old man go to school and can identify more letter O. And big old man, them also something. And God said to me, you have to set the mind right. So you set the mind right and get the person to understand this is not something that is beyond you. You know what I mean? When you get people mindset right, Dervan, 70% of the trouble over. So you spend the time. One day I said to me, say you don't scatter, people not go scatter seed in a woodland, Dervan. Eh? If you put up farm agriculture to develop to whatever, you have to cut down the woodland and clear them, you know. You know, talk about what you call it, lumber, what them call it, forest with produce.
Hello? Looks like we lost Miss Mervis. Not sure what happened there. Sorry about that, Miss Mervis. Not sure what happened there. Feel free to call back. Peter Barkley says hello to everyone listening. Hello, Peter Barkley. Faye Weller says, blessed love, Mr. Dervan and faithful listeners. It is indeed a great pleasure listening to Power 106. Thank you, Faye Weller. Valerie Weller Carpeck says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Good afternoon, Valerie. No, this one is not Valerie. This is now Cherry Henry. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Good afternoon, Sherry Henry. Inez Iona Campbell says, a pleasant afternoon, everyone. Same to you, Inez Iona Campbell. Thank you for staying in touch with us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. Welcome to Joan Richardson in Bermuda. She says, hello from sunny Bermuda. Population of what? 60,000 people, most of them Jamaicans, especially those who are police, health professionals like the nurses and the doctors and so on. They're very well known in Bermuda. And those who are from East Rural St. Andrew, they are responsible, it seems, for having a cohort of Jamaicans from East Rural St. Andrew resident in Bermuda. And so good afternoon, Joan Richardson. Good to hear from you. Hi to your husband, Willard, and your daughter, Roxy, and your granddaughter, Amira. We wish you well. And all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica and Bermudians in Bermuda. Good afternoon to you. Karen Rose says, hello, Sir Malcolm, and all tuning in. Praying you are all having a wonderful day. Thank you, Karen Rowe. Hope the same for you. To the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
And you remember COVID?
What about COVID? There's a lot to remember.
All right, you remember, at COVID time, you remember they had online learning?
Yes.
And following that, you hear about the adverse impact it had upon the educational sector.
Yes.
So that interchanges between students in school and they getting backward and involved in all kind of activities that were not expected of them, which would lead to higher level of learning. But right now, when I look at what's at Grangeville Primary in Westmoreland, they say they get argument that they're going to have some violence at the school. And they run and lock down the school and say they're going to provide online teaching. So you look at that this year. So once we have about 5 or 6 parishes, and they say January is going to strike. What all of them going to do? Lock down school and go to online learning?
No, what is clear is every institution should have a plan. And
the president of the JT calling for extra security measures in school.
No,
we are told that crime and violence has contributed to a significant reduction in our GDP, where we could be. So you can cover in the face of violence. You have to rise to the challenge. And we have security that is being paid. And you are supposed to serve and protect in terms of the police. And you have the army. Because some months ago, you remember you usually get calls say there is bomb threat. And everyone go lock down school too.
Yeah, we have our fair share of idlers.
Yeah, man, fair share of idlers. But if people place in position of responsibility, cover in the face of idlers, then you know where we are heading for anarchy. So we will not be far from Haiti.
Why is everybody picking on Haiti? Haiti.
You know, the people who overthrow government and do all kind of wrongs, run with government, overthrow, kill presidents from Papa.
Yeah, but one of the things I learned is not to kick a man when he's down.
Well, I don't believe in kicking anybody when they are down. But if they are placed in position of responsibility, you must rise to the challenge and provide good leadership. and look about the interest of the majority of the people. Not so far.
Well, the good thing is that most people agree that only the Haitians can fix Haiti.
Yeah,
There's general agreement there. There's no dissonance. There's general agreement there. Mm-hmm. So we should just get on with doing what is expected of us in terms of helping Haiti to stabilize conditions there.
And when you look at the paradox, you remember some time ago them doing markup down at Parliament, Judas, and that one Prime Minister. You imagine now, if they ever get some bomb trick, and then say they're going to attack Parliament. Well, all of them would have to lock down Parliament, vote the government.
No, they're going to do what they're going to do what they did when there were the bomb threats some months ago. They're going to deal with it.
Oh,
and they have.
I hope they will deal with the situation.
They have. They dealt with that.
Because it's not only the primary school, you know.
It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. One moment, please.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
If you know one pop down and fenke, you feel one mosquito and run with dengue. So no make water circle in open container. For them to read up under the danger. Usher them out, run them away. Zap them with the zapper and down them with spray. Use mosquito net and mosquito screen. Protect your household, now make them come in. If you know one pop down and fenke, you feel one mosquito and run with dengue.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
On your mark.
The Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships takes place from Tuesday, March 19 to Saturday, March 23 at the National Stadium, and Power 106 FM has got you covered with all the action. Tune in to both sides of the story and Power Play from Tuesday, March 19 to Friday, March 22 for updates, and the live simulcast on Saturday, March 23. Coverage of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships is brought to you by Freeform Factory, Imperial Optical Jamaica, DW Investments, Wellington Dental, Barry's Hardware, Massive Used Parts, Super Valley Auto Center, Coast to Coast Group of Companies, Lock Safe and Vault, Cumberland Medical, Community Meds Pharmacy, Toppington's Hardware and Farm Store, CIWI Electrical Sales Limited, Ramsey's Auto Parts, Ricardo Stationery and Office Supplies, and Margin's Pharmacy. That's coverage of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships from the National Stadium during both sides of the story and Power Play from Tuesday, March 19 to Friday, March 22, and the live simulcast on Saturday, March 23, right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Sharon Maxwell says, blessed afternoon. To you too, Sharon, and her Sharon is spelled S-H-E-R-O-N, as opposed to Sharon, S-H-A-R-O-N. So Sharon Maxwell says, blessed afternoon, Dervan Malcolm. To you too, Sharon Maxwell. Earl Allen says, blessed good afternoon to all Power 106 family members and friends. Brother Dervan, yesterday, March 12, 2024, was 16 years since Prince Charles and Lady Camilla visited the Rosetown community of South St. Andrew. The Prince opened the community library on behalf of the Prince's Foundation. 16 years later, he's the King of England. Big up the late Michael Ransford Black and all who played their part in the visit of Prince Charles, now King Charles, and big up the community of Rosetown, Jamaica, to the world. And that message from Earl Allen. Thank you, Earl Allen, for your message. Mike Montgomery says, good afternoon, teacher, to you and your listeners. You're one in a million. Keep educating the nation. Keep safe. And you do likewise, Mike Montgomery. All the best. Thank you for your message. as we continue to take your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. So let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for holding.
Yes, Mr. Marcus.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, the Minister of Finance made his presentation. And in terms of the threshold, it moved from 1.5 to 1.7. So they have got some improvement of about 12%. And those people should be thankful for tender mercy because the country was recommending 2.2. The government is in no position at this time to offer such leverage to the workers. And some of the people are castigating the government, claiming that the government has not said anything about production. But you know that in budget debate, you work with the Minister of Finance, followed by the opposition spokesman and finance. Then the Prime Minister made the major announcement in the budget. But prior to that, you have the leader of the opposition. And then you have the Minister of Finance closing where he can hear the opposition spokesperson to please him. So when the Prime Minister comes, in terms of anything that is missing in terms of production and moving the country forward, I am certain that we will make that announcement at that time. So those people who want to take the government to task, they are not on sound foundation because there is no pie in the sky. And the only way we can get ourselves out of the mess that we are in is through increased production and productivity. And with that, you need the support of the private sector, which happens to be the engine of growth and development. So those who come with stupid socialist rhetoric, that are what has kept back Jamaica about 50 years. And it is not going to take us out of the quagmire that exists. Only by steady hands by the Minister of Finance and a good Prime Minister like Andrew Wilner and the government of the Jamaica Labour Party will Jamaica move forward to true progress and development and prosperity.
The proceeding was paid for by Jamintel.
Yeah, man, but the Labourites have contributed successfully to the operation of government and also your station. So I need that make any payment.
I hear you.
Anyhow, you're coming to my neck of the woods tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, man. You're not coming to Clinton tomorrow.
You know more than I do.
I mean, you're the only advertisement, man, and your station is rendezvous covering the entire island. So, I may not be there, but at least I am listening and participating to power. And to turn back the power of the comrades.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Anyhow, you have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's clear some more of these WhatsApp messages. Rohan Johnson from Atlas Ocho Rios asks, what is your intake on the budget presentation? Coming from Rohan Johnson, Atlas Ocho Rios, clocking in. Yeah, well, it's still a lot to go through and to analyze and to dissect and come away with a position that on the face of it would be considered reasonable, or otherwise for that matter. It's up to those who are keen on analyzing. So there are things to be done and decisions to be made of a financial nature. And those of us who have an interest, and all of us should, must watch closely and pay attention to the information that is being transmitted with respect to the budget and its implications for our people. So never mind what some people would like us to believe, but we still have credible media practitioners, credible journalists in Jamaica, and who do very good work and are capable of presenting data that is easily comprehended, easily understood, and that does make a difference as well in and of itself. But the information is out there. The information is available. Anybody who wants to get the facts and to back up those facts, the information is available. That's the age we're living in now. Can't hide it. James in East London is checking in. Good afternoon, James in East London. Thank you very much for sharing the usual collection of stories coming out of the UK. Xavier says, Haiti fight for their independence and won. All right, let's put this in past tense. Haiti fought for their independence and won. Haiti sent Maroons to Jamaica to fight for Jamaica, but the Maroons signed a treaty with the English not to fight anymore. And thank you for your message, Xavier. Chris Kingston says, good day, Dervan. Good program. Radios Universidad. Chris from Halfway Tree. Thank you very much, Chris from Halfway Tree. This one says, how come the Almighty didn't tell Miss Mervis to go to Haiti? How come the Almighty didn't tell Miss Mervis to adopt 4 Haitians? Why is Miss Mervis, why is she just cozy in her space only to repeat hearsay? Where has the Almighty sent Miss Mervis to fight for a cause? Or the Almighty only sends Miss Mervis to RGR Power 106? Next message. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. There is no doubt that the budget presentation was a good one. However, we Jamaicans are very tribal. The individuals who are trying to tear down such an outstanding budget are clearly doing so on political grounds. And people are free to declare their budget to be outstanding. People are free to make such declarations. As we said, the evidence is out there, the information is public, and it's up to those who apply themselves to going through the information and coming to conclusions that would be considered to be reasonable. But having said that, who am I to declare what is reasonable from what is not? I can only share on the basis of what is in front of me. So the message, next message, divine intervention, listener Mervis, overload, same thing over and over and over. What has Miss Mervis actually done physically, apart from talk, says the message. Thank you very much for your message. Let's clear some more. Patrick Howell says the budget can be divided into three sections: election, private sector, and for the rich. Kevin Chang is doing Clark a disservice, and he thinks that Jamaicans are fools, but the signal was sent in the local government election and will be sent again in the general. I don't hear anything about the payment of the money taken by the government from the people's NHT. Maybe they might mention it in the supplementary budget. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Patrick. All the very best. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Pastor, with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. Call in or text in and have great discussions with Dear Pastor as we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and go-jamaica.com.
That's no fun, no. Sure ain't no fun, no. I think what would happen if the other man thinks the same, then bullets fall like rain. It's no fun, no. No, it's no fun. Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself. Only you can talk about.
Visionary in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, has a lot to say. Let's see how much of it we can get through before nightfall. Visionary says, Dervan, I hope you are right. But this generation up to 50 plus years of age has been socialized by the apartheid system of education imposed on us by the neo-colonial enslavers, the British, American, French, and Dutch white supremacists in co-op with the Jewish PSOJ, especially after Jamaica created a storm in the UN and the world by the Rastafari. Or protests caused the supremacists, enslavers, to be covert in their revenge in undermining of the pesky and seemingly unconquerable monkeys. I see a couple of spelling here. I'm not sure if that is deliberate, but that's not how those names are spelled. Imposed and intensified political tribalism, knowing that we are not educated, edified, inculcated with good moral discipline. We are not civilized. Since civics was removed from the curriculum. Who did that? Did that really happen? Who removed civics from the curriculum? Why would anybody do that? That's odd. We have no sense of governance with history discouraged and religion being emphasized. We have become a totally confused society. Being so, we have been set against each other, facilitated and supplied with guns and ammos to murder each other. Visionary in Savlamar. And he sends us a rejoinder. He says, Dervan, there were constant tit for tat killings in Vineyard Town, Gullybank, Backbush, Nannyville, Mountain View, Jakes Road, and with unconditional love of life only. I was able to stop the killings by both political gangs. Not a cent of taxpayers' money was spent to achieve that result. Government of Jamaica spends money, millions each year to support the PMI's pockets, though I had to run away to protect some living from being terminated by mercenaries, says Visionary in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. Sounded that you were undercover to have done what you say you did? Curious. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, Mr. Malcolm, when I saw the Vibes Cartel trial the other day, when I see how the human that man called their law lords, it looks as if they give these people superpower over them. How people love to bow down to these people all the way in England. We have to make our own Caribbean Court of Appeal our final court. That's over to those involved in the discussions and the deliberations on constitutional reform and related matters. And the people will, as usual, will have to decide exactly what they want. Patrick Howell is still typing away. Velta Wilson just logged on. Good afternoon, Velta Wilson. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stephen Barnes has joined us as well. He says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. A person may read a lot that does not but share let me see if I can make sense of this part here. Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. A person may read a lot. He does, oh gosh, what did Stephen want to say here? The does not but share the same views due to biases. Oh yes, and people are free to express themselves and their biases. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth, good afternoon and welcome to you. Good to have you on board both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Patrick Evans says, I'm understanding that this budget is not the election budget, but next year you get the goodies, but I want nothing from them, says Patrick Evans. And the same Patrick says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Just go on easy and enjoy your day. Thank you very much, Patrick. You do likewise. Thank you for your message and keep them coming in. 876-922-4112 the numbers to call. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. This one says the PM spoke about decisive action on the Haitian people, but His Holiness in his right. Please. Who is this? Patrick, you're giving us reason not to read sections of your message. Remember, we still have a duty and a stewardship with respect to gatekeeping. It's not a run-on thing for those who want to run in on the thing, so to speak. That's not what this is. We still have to be respectful and careful in terms of how we communicate. It's not just a matter of running the mouth. It's more than that. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Do you wish to be on air?
Sure, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm, this is Mr. Lee Wars. We met at Buffet at Shoppers Pride Supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I spoke to Alta Monday morning. She will be in Port Antonio case, the 18th, which is Monday coming. But I don't get how I forget to ask her what course. It's the cross country. So can you inform me what course?
Which one? Farm Talk?
Farm Talk. If it's a cross country, they'll be at Port Antonio on case, the 18th.
Right. So if that's the information you have, then that's what it is.
I just want to know the hour.
The hour. Farm Talk starts at, 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And goes until 7.
Well, it's cross country, she said. If I heard her correctly, it's cross country. So.
Okay. Well, by all means, go on out and engage and interact and have some fun.
Yes, I want to know what hour she'll be there, if it's the 5 o'clock farm. But I think it's the cross country, she said,
Oh.
But we met in both days, sir, and all the very best, sir. Take care.
Thank you. Many happy returns.
All right, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. We met in both days, sir, and all the very best, sir. Take care. Thank you. Happy returns.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. See if we can give you a quick update on what's been happening. Perhaps you've been a little too busy to pay attention to the news. So let's see what we find by way of news trending right now on the Gleaners website, jamaica-gleaner.com. So what we're seeing right now is Jamaica accepting fewer than 50 Haitian orphans. Johnson Smith. The story is Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith is clarifying that Jamaica will only be accepting a small number of Haitian orphans under the care of a private charity in violence-torn Haiti. And the story goes on. Johnson Smith, while speaking at a post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday morning, said fewer than 50 of the most severely disabled children who have been abandoned by their families are being allowed into Jamaica. She said local charity Mustard Seed Communities has been working with the Haitian charity for the past year regarding the care of the children. She said that the government has facilitated engagement as much as it can, but noted that the situation is a private charity to private charity matter. She said the orphanage had been under attack from gangs. Gangs have come in and stolen their food and medicine. They have had children die on their way to try to get medical care. It is really one of the most horrific circumstances in which the most vulnerable children have been at greater risk in the circumstances, said Johnson Smith. The minister said the government is exploring ways to legally receive the children for care by Mustard Seed. I just really wanted to clarify that because it starts another set of narrative of concerns about movement of people, she said. So that's a bit of an update with respect to the situation in Haiti. And the next story here that's trending on the Gleaner's website, 40-year-old woman charged for allegedly stealing baby from KPH premises. And that's 40-year-old Sushana Greenfield. There's more after the break.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:31 on Power 106.
Since 2017, 11 communities have had unlimited access to potable water, thanks to the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development's Water Shop initiative.
So now we don't have to pay for water anymore for drinking purpose.
And under the Rural Development Program, residents in Chambers, Pen Hanover, Cheswick, St. Thomas, and Banks, Clarendon are benefiting from house wiring, road and school upgrades, and other amenities.
We are doing serious work to give hope to our citizens. Stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, developing communities for the benefit of all citizens.
I beg you come down. In my heart, I know that you won't let your chosen people suffer. I know.
Haiti is also trending on the story of the plan. Whatever the plan was, the plan to install new leaders in Haiti appears to crumble after political parties reject it, as the information surfacing on the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com. So the plan to install new leaders in Haiti appears to crumble after political parties reject it. Let's read some more. A proposal to install new leadership in Haiti appeared to be crumbling Wednesday, that's today, as some political parties rejected the plan to create a presidential council that would manage the transition. The panel would be responsible for selecting an interim prime minister and a council of ministers that would attempt to chart a new path for the Caribbean country that has been overrun by gangs. The violence has closed schools and businesses and disrupted daily life across Haiti. Moïse Jean-Charles, Moïse Jean-Charles, an ex-senator and presidential candidate who has teamed up with former rebel leader Guy Philippe, told Radio Télé Métronome that he would not participate, according to the station. Jean-Charles did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Meanwhile, Philippe, who helped lead a successful revolt in 2004 against former President Jean-Bertrand d'Aristide and was recently released from a U.S. prison after pleading guilty to money laundering, said no Haitian should accept any proposal from the international community. Well, well. In a video posted Tuesday on social media, Philippe accused the community of being complicit with Haiti's elite and corrupt politicians and urged Haitians to take to the streets. The decision of CARICOM is not our decision, he said, referring to the regional trade bloc whose leaders presented the plan to create a transitional council. Haitians will decide who will govern Haiti. Other high-profile Haitian politicians declined to participate in the proposed transitional council. Among them were Himmler Rebu, former colonel of Haiti's army and president of the Grand Rally for the Evolution of Haiti, a party that is part of a coalition awarded a spot on the Transitional Council. He said in a statement that the party prefers that a judge from Haiti's Supreme Court assume the reins of power. Rebu added that the party is ashamed and angry upon seeing the search for positions, of power that do not take into account the responsibilities attached to them. Caribbean leaders who announced the plan for the Transitional Council did not respond to messages for comment. The plan emerged late Monday following an urgent meeting involving Caribbean leaders, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and others who were searching for a solution to halt Haiti's crisis of violence. Hours after the meeting, Prime Minister Ariel Henry announced Tuesday that he would resign once the council was in place, saying that his government cannot remain insensitive to this situation. Henry remains locked out of Haiti because gang attacks have shuttered the country's airports. He's currently in Puerto Rico. The gang attacks began February 29 when Henry was in Kenya to push for the UN-backed deployment of a Kenyan police force. The deployment has been temporarily suspended. My concern is that the longer there is a power vacuum and an effort to figure out a way forward on the political side, every day that delays resolutions, many people are dying, said William O'Neill, the UN's independent expert on human rights in Haiti. Among men in the capital of Port-au-Prince, armed men in the capital of Port-au-Prince have set fire to police stations and stormed the country's two biggest prisons, releasing more than 4,000 inmates. Among those who fled are gang leaders of at least 7 communities, according to a new report by the United Nations Integrated Office in Haiti, known as BNU. As of March 10, gunmen attacked, looted, or torched at least 30 state institutions, more than 600 homes and private businesses, and nearly 500 public and private vehicles, BNU said. Gangs also have attacked neighborhoods in a rampage that has left scores dead and more than 15,000 homeless. More than 130 people were killed between February 27 and March 8. Meanwhile, at least 40 gang members were killed between February 29 and March 10, according to BNU. This is absolutely catastrophic, O'Neill said. I describe Port-au-Prince now as an open-air prison. There is no way to get out, land, air, or sea. The airport is still not functioning. By Tuesday, the attacks were subsiding, with some businesses and banks reopening, although schools and gas stations remained closed. Public transportation restarted, and more Haitians could be seen Wednesday going about their business. While some activity has resumed, many people are still concerned that gangs might resume their attacks. CARICOM gave the organizations that were offered positions on the council until Wednesday, that's today, to submit the names of people who would represent them. As of midday today, no list has been submitted. The 9-member council has 7 positions with voting powers. Votes were offered to Petit Dessalines, Jean-Charles Party, EDE-RE-ED, a party led by former Prime Minister Claude Joseph, the Montana Accord, a group of civil society leaders, political parties, and others, Fanme Lavala, Aristide's party, the January 30 Collective, which represents parties including that of former President Michel Martelly, the December 21st Agreement, a group that backed Henri, and members of the private sector. The remaining 2 non-voting positions would go to a member from Haiti's civil society and its religious sector. It was not immediately clear who would be awarded a position on the council if it was rejected by certain political parties. So that's an update on what's been happening in Haiti. Let's go to the phone lines now. 876-922-4112-5. There's a call coming through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Malcolm.
Good
How
afternoon.
are you?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
Doing the same. I'm going to revisit the Haitian story. I wasn't really planning to, hope I wasn't going to talk about Haiti, to talk about something specific with Jamaica. But because this is so topical and it involves Jamaica, I'm going to take a crack at it. Based on some of what you just read, and I've kind of heard this story regurgitated on all the mainstream medias. And I want to ask you a question. If the airport is closed, how did the Americans just reinforce their Marine contingent at the embassy there?
Because they have such assets deployed, perhaps.
Yeah, but they have to land. He have to land at the airport. So the point I am saying, because
not necessarily,
there's a lot of,
not necessarily. Well, we don't need to split hairs, but not necessarily.
They didn't do a ship landing. They based on the reports that we get here in the United States, they're fleeing. They're fleeing and reinforced, and they evacuated their people. Some of their people, they claim. Okay, the issue here is, again, the role of CARICOM as political lapdogs, giving a veneer of legitimacy to another invasion and disruption of Haitian sovereignty, which is the recurring issue here over and over
sort of propaganda that we're getting on the news. You know, they bring the same. There's a thing that the CIA talk about, which is called plausible deniability. In other words, I can carry out an action and have you as confused as hell, wondering what is happening. Similar to what we had in Jamaica back in the 70s. So we have in Haiti these groups that are totally being funded by the local oligarchy. Now, I've never seen you guys carry a story, never show these people's picture of who these private people are, who have control allegedly over these funding these paramilitary groups. They are not gangs. These are paramilitary groups. They are well armed. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question, Dervan. You guys always take pleasure to report that Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, right? Now, if Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, how is it that these guys have big, expensive weapons parading around in the slums of Haiti?
One of our listeners says, no, there are two military-based landing sites in the center of Haiti, outside of Port-au-Prince, and the other one is close to the Dominican Republic border.
So they are coming, but didn't Haiti close their border with the Dominican Republic? Because there's an issue about the canal, river, Massacre River, that's the name that the Haitians give that river, because of the massacre of Haitians back in the 1900s by the Dominican side. So this is what I'm saying. They are telling us that this place is controlled by these so-called gangs, which are paramilitary gangs that have a man going around with this ridiculous name, which is straight out of a novel. And this is how they frame third world countries to make them look stupid. Barbecue, who was an ex-policeman, who has allegedly have a horrendous record of abuse in Haiti. We have Philippe, who you mentioned, who was supposedly an operative with foreign agencies. They showed a picture of him training in South America with allegedly a CIA crew. So we have, he was also, by the way, picked up. He had one, I don't know if you remember, he had one mayorship of Port-au-Prince at one point. And the Americans weren't very happy to have him in there. I don't know if you remember, during an interview, he was taken up by the DEA, arrested, flown to the United States, where he was supposedly serving for money laundering and drug trafficking. I noticed that you didn't mention that part in the report that you just carried a while ago.
Listen to me, man. You can never, there's no guarantee that you're going to get every single piece of a story that you ever hope to get in one story. There's no guarantee there.
Right. But this same man who they claim was a CIA man, he was just released from the U.S. prison. Just like that, in the middle of this, and sent back home. And we know that he has been a destabilizing force in Haiti. He's now, they have him parading up as some sort of national hero savior now for Haiti. So we have all these malign actors. But the real puppet masters, they don't get covered in the news. This is, well, they get covered in some alternative news spaces, because democracy now spoke about it and so on and so forth. But you're not seeing them in the mainstream. These are primarily Arab Haitian citizens. You understand? So what's going on? And now, what is even more disappointing is that Jamaica, with the CARICOM government heads, went with the Secretary of State here, Mr. Blinken. And we understand that part of the agreement that, first of all, they had a secret meeting, we are told, according to the news platform, Democracy Now! We are told that they had part of the agreement that they hashed out was that you could not contest whether irregularity go down into the next so-called election that many people feel is going to be a sham. You understand? This is the view on the street, and this is some of the view coming out of different civil society people in Haiti. We will never see them get no interview on the mainstream, even in Jamaica. Up to now, I can't understand how you guys giving press award, press association, a big award, and they're not doing any work. Nobody, how come none of you guys have gone down to Haiti? Why isn't the Galena company funding some of your reporters to go down there? What, they're afraid of black people? Other people have gone down there. Why haven't they gone down into Haiti to cover the story, to get real first-hand, accounts from the people in Haiti? They're not worthy of being asked about what's going on in their own country. They can't read and write. They can't talk. Many Haitians speak English down there now, Dervan.
I know. I've been watching some of the interviews.
Yes, and Jamaica benefited from Haiti. You know that? Did you know that there were Jamaican companies that were getting ackee from Haiti with them? You are aware of that, sir?
No, I'm aware of spending because I spent some time in Haiti. The establishment of best dressed chicken in Haiti. In Haiti, it's called Le Chic Poulet.
Okay.
And so I got a tour of their operations and so on. And
right.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 80s, there's a fellow that I knew who was working in Haiti and would come back to Jamaica.
And of course, Digicel is in Haiti, has been for some time.
You know that they took over. That was one of the contentious issues between the Aristide government, because Aristide did not want to nationalize the phone company. And so there are a lot of malign actors in Haiti. I don't know if you had heard the leak from the WikiLeaks, where Hillary Clinton allegedly sent her aide down to choose the person she wanted to go into the presidency, who came third, which was Martilly. That's another malign actor who became president. Dervan, I saw a video, cover that they did, coverage down in Haiti, where he went into one of the communities. And he said something to the lady, and the lady reacted to him very negatively. He was president then. Dervan, if you hear the kind of stuff that that man put, he was supposed to be the president of Haiti, tell that woman, that Haitian citizen. This is the kind of people that put install in the power. And you know what that man did after his so-called term ended in Haiti, Dervan?
What's that?
Because you know that he was one of them little low-rated singer. Music singer.
Mm-hmm.
The man shows what a puppy show they do with the Haitian people. This man was keeping what you call it? So like a full concert in a nightclub in Miami. You know? I mean, this is what they are doing. You realize, many professional people in Haiti, man. I went to an event in Long Island, a private event. And the amount of heavyweight Haitians that was at that event, college professors, attorneys, all sorts of doctors, and I mean, it was really, when you chat with them, and they're very patriotic about their country, and they'll tell you what is going on. This usurpation of Haitian sovereignty is the problem. And I'm disappointed again that Jamaica, under the Hones administration, is going along with this dog and pony show. Then what I cannot understand is that when our people, our government officials, when they go around these white officials, American for instance, it's like their mouth can't open. They don't have a viewpoint that they can express on behalf of their people, of what we think. It's just a photo op. You understand? Andrew is looking so stupid in these photo ops. You know, it coming like it don't look good. This is not how Michael Manley felt. You know, say what you will about Michael Manley. But Michael Manley had earned these people respect because Manley articulated the position of the hope and aspirations of Jamaican people. And Dervan, you want to I'll give you some proof of how Michael Manley went from being their adversary to being a respected adversary for them. You know what they did to Michael Manley in the end? When Michael Manley was leaving office? Can you hazard a guess?
No.
They feted Michael Manley, invited him to the White House, and gave him a send-off before Michael Manley demitted office. That's respect. That's respect. And remember that the Siaga was supposedly their man in the Caribbean. But he was never accorded that level of respect that Michael Manley got when he was leaving office in Jamaica. Why? Because principle. Don't be a lapdog. Don't be a lackey. We shouldn't be a lackey. That's not going to help Jamaica. That cannot help us. We just roll over. We just go, even though we know it's going to kill our people. It's going to stamp down our people. It's going to circumcise us. And we just go, our government just go with it. That's totally, Jamaica now look like a midget.
Randy Williams says, we are wasting our time. Haiti cannot be helped. Good afternoon.
No, well, that's total argument. We could have said the same thing. And a lot of times why people say that in Jamaica is because the lack of news, proper news reporting, no context. So the people only see black people are running around with guns, and we hear the narrative from these white news organizations that, hey, it's surprising that I'm going to say, those little wild black people, look at them. We need to take them over. Because you know that there was a gentleman, a very prominent gentleman in the United States, who said that they need to recolonize black country. Were you aware of that, sir?
No.
Mr. Prince. He's from Black Rock. That's a massive American company. He was in an interview. It's all, the interview is there. Thank God for social media. Because we couldn't depend on news organizations like the TVJ thing. We don't never know what's going on in the world. And that's why a lot of young people don't even listen to you guys anymore.
All right, so I'm going to sign off now then. I'm going to sign off. So, yeah, we have to wrap it here. All right, thanks for the call.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to give a little bit of trouble now, sir. I would like it, like how it's budget time now. If you could go back, way back when they were to the template, right up and down, and give us a highlight of what the budget presentation was like, how much was expended for that.
Oh, we have done that over and over again, but we do it according to the date. So like today is the 13th of March. So we would try to find something that happened on this day, something of significance. So we have done that. We have done it over and over and over again. Sometimes by happenstance, you just, some people would say, get lucky, and popping up on the screen is the information for that specific day.
Okay.
But
So you see,
go ahead.
what happened? I mostly listen to you by the app, and I'm having serious problem with my carrier. So it breaks so often, and it's not from the app problem, it's from the carrier that I have. Because in certain areas you don't pick up clearly, and even though I'm in the heart of culture, it's still having a challenge. So some of the time I miss out on some of your programs, so that's why at night I try to go back into the and listen, but I'm still having that challenge.
If I don't know if it's possible for you to just put it in writing and send it as a text message to 365-3346. We'll share the information with the engineers.
No, in fact, the problem is my telephone, the carrier. That's where the problem comes from, because we're not getting good value for money,
And you have exhausted the offerings of both carriers?
Yes. And I seek the help from the CSC and also.
Hold a moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. The St. Mary Association of Branch Societies of the JAS presents its 36th staging of the St. Mary Agri Expo on Monday, April 1 at the Grace Inn Sports Complex, St. Mary, under the theme Nourishing Your Future, Safeguarding Farms, Ensuring Food Security. Features include Youth and Agriculture Village, Farmers Market, Farm Queen Competition, and much more. Stay for the entertainment, gospel concert, and stage show. Gates open at 8 a.m. Admission adults $2,000, children $500.
Linton O'Connor says, Mr. Malcolm, I work on the cruise ships with Haitians. Many Haitians are rich, also many rich cities. Yes, for those of us who have been to Haiti, that was quite evident. Yeah, it's quite a mix. Thank you very much for sharing the information with us, Linton O'Connor. All the very best to you. And let's see. The messages. This one says, Mr. Malcolm, you should, let me start up top. Good afternoon, Dervan. This administration thinks everyone is an idiot. They're borrowing money, putting in the surplus reserves, and saying no need to borrow for the budget. They said no new tax, but we're still paying more tax on food items. So they don't need no need for a next tax. The minister made a lot of mistakes in his figures yesterday, and his colleagues just pounding desk. And this is from Lawrence in Cayman. And you know I can't read the last couple of words in your message. I don't know why you put it in there in the first place, because I'm not here in a position to engage in some of the kind of, let me just hold it there. Let's leave it there. Mr. Malcolm, you should know how political fanatics behave. They don't necessarily support what is right. They support party. Remember the recent cases involving Dennis Meadows and Everett Warmington? How the respective crowds supported the outrageous statements. So in spite, we have a good budget presentation. Unfortunately, some persons, because of political bias, disingenuously fail to accept it as being good. So what? That's what I keep saying. People are entitled to their opinions, their thoughts, their ideas, their interpretations, etc., and they express themselves accordingly. Now, as long as no, you're not engaged in defaming someone or engaging in any other nefarious activities, by all means, you go ahead and express yourself. Go ahead and express yourself. That we used to have that as a jingle on Power 106. All right, let's continue. This one from the listener who goes by the moniker Waymaker. They can use helicopters to land as well. Of course, that's what I was thinking as well. And this one says that caller is thinking of Haiti being fully controlled by gangsters. There are peaceful places in Haiti that are even safer than the safe places in the USA. All right, we hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much for your message. And, oh, that was Xavier. Thank you very much, Xavier, for your message. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, capitalism is not for the poor, and as a poor man, I cannot support a system that doesn't benefit me nor poor blacks. So who is it who was asking you to support that system? You remember, Jamaica is a democracy, and you know what comes with that, don't you? All right. Thank you very much for your message, Cuban in Georgia. And you don't necessarily have to pick up everything that somebody says, you know. If you do that, you don't have to necessarily follow up people on these matters, as people know what they're trying to achieve, and any source, any individual who is within earshot will want them to hear some of what they want to say. But it's no big deal. People are free to express themselves. As we always say, you're free to say whatever you want to say. You're free to be whatever you want to be, so long as that freedom does not infringe on another person's freedom. All right, we have a caller who has been holding for 1 minute and 55 seconds. Oh, there are others who have been holding longer than that. Well, let's go for one of those then. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Malcolm, still here, sir.
Oh, yes.
I want to briefly add Nigeria, which at one time was seen as the breadbasket of Africa. And plus, they used to give us some money to grow, I think it is, from some oil. I don't know how that contract came up. But they have now become a failed state. And they said for last year, rice has increased up by 12%. The manufacturing sector there has crippled. As a matter of fact, they move out and people are desperate. You know, they can't get jobs. You have criminality that is going around, kidnapping people out of their houses. As in one day, up to 2 people were kidnapped from their houses.
They kidnapped some children as well.
Yes. And I don't know what the African Union is doing about that, but the government, they fail. And this is not the Nigeria that I'm accustomed to. I learned about, I read about, and with a large oil deposit, what's going on there, nobody knows. So, Haiti is in trouble here, so do Nigeria. And it's very sad because if Nigeria confidence state, it can have a significant impact on the rest of Africa. Plus, you have a lot of qualified, intelligent people in Nigeria, and I don't know why they allow their country to reach the stage it reached. And at one time, their film industry was doing so well. I don't know. This is, as you rightly put it, sir, man have to be protected from himself, you know.
That's right.
Okay, Mr. Malcolm, all the best, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, and take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's go to one of the other callers who were already waiting. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, blessed love to the black population here in Jamaica and all people differently. But then the brethren just start the cry. You know, to the man says strength is strength to uphold each other, you know, in an African consciousness of ourselves, you know, and strength to strength to uphold the evil world, you know. The 22 countries in Africa state, my honorable brother, is controlled or colonized by Britain, you know.
22, you sure about that?
Yeah, and 20 controlled by France. And the other control amongst them colleagues, you know, German and others, you know. So we have said the state language, as we say, and state government in many states in Africa.
There are 54 states in Africa.
Listen me carefully. I said the state language and the state government of these.
No, you said there are 22. What were you saying? 22 what?
State in Africa that is controlled, colonized by Britain.
Oh, okay. So 22 of the 54.
Yeah, and 20 controlled by France, and the other rest amongst German and them other colleagues, you know. So the state language of these countries, naturally, say 20 and 22 countries controlled by Britain and France. The state language and government is English and French.
Mm-hmm.
So at them control of everything.
So what are you going to do about it?
The system of government will run these countries. They will divide us as a nation of people, a black nation of people, you know. Will divide us and enslave us and do all manner of evil, you know. As you ask, so we are going to do with them now. We give thanks to the black consciousness where we see a rise amongst us as black people in Jamaica and the world. You know, see to see honorable brothers them in West Africa, they know, and get out France, America, and England, all of the colonizer them who exploit Africa and take out Africa wealth and resources where enrich themselves. You know, have a work out to cheaply by this judgment. Yeah. So we are get them out now. We give thanks to Marcus Garvey who said the black man never sleep, hunger sleep, who never dead. You know, so now we wake up and that's what we're going in the judgment world. It's a Britain, America, and France, and all these colonizers don't mean us no good. You know? See, at them train the JDS down in Jamaica, yeah. Canada, and America. You know? All England too. You know? At them weaponize our sons and daughters and turn them in a police and soldier. See? And so them a come to a black contingent now to carry about 80. The people of Haiti and the people.
Well, we'll see what happens there because they have put movements on hold there. They whatever plans they had in terms of action on the ground, they have put a pause on it.
Yeah, so them divide us amongst themselves and demonize us in the world anywhere there's black people. Because here we are talking now, and the educated elite, you know, in Jamaica, you know. All over the world, people talk about them how much high school in this judgment. Yeah, them about and that's these things. Haitian and Jamaican. The people them in Haiti, the population in Haiti and Jamaica. We have blood brothers and sisters, African sons and daughters. Not true we about that. You know? One black sovereign nation wealth, kingdom of people, not Commonwealth. Commonwealth are imperialism and colonialism, you know? But nation wealth is something, you know? Africa with all its natural wealth and resources, it's your I and I black sons and daughters of the world, you know? So we need to stand up, stand up upon our feet like a man and demand what is ours. Prime Minister Andrew Gordon said Jamaica, America backyard, and he will always support America. He's a black leader who will lead over a country with a black population, I said that, with all our history, these nations do it, he must speak so. That's why Blinken could have come down here, and France were there, and Canada, who have high level, judgment level talk them come with to set us against ourselves. See, come, look how the man them black leaders, CARICOM leaders. I want to know so. Because in the panel, CARICOM leaders and Blinken, they hurry up and get us out of America backyard. See, send us back to Africa. People them, our black brothers in Haiti when the last earthquake, Senegal, an African country say, let us send on the people, not fertile land to give them and we give them start to live. Because we are one people, blood brothers and sisters. Up to now, they not turn the whiter than you or the blacker than you if you do so.
Your declaration is clear. Your declaration is clear. We need to take a break.
CARICOM leaders, Prime Minister Andrew Gordon and Blinken to set us free. Because we don't want 80 for yourself, for your interest, we don't want it.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the call. Thank you. Thank you.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Buy a bag of hydro feeds and win a bag of cash in the Farm to Fortune promotion. Buy hydro, watch your pocket grow. Watch it grow with hydro. Farm to Fortune, that's the way to go. Win millions and credit for your phone. When you buy your feed from hydro. When you buy your feed from hydro. Hydro is giving away millions in the Farm to Fortune promotion. Buy any qualifying hydro feed and text the entry code in the bag for your chance to win. Enter today. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act. Join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Pasta, with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. Call in or text in and have great discussions with Dear Pasta as we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Pasta with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and go-jamaica.com.
People suffer, I know you never understand.
16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm.
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Not too bad. I hear some people say that it was a good presentation. A presentation can be good, but a presentation must go. But a presentation can be good, and you look into it and say, what is there for the majority of people in Jamaica, people who in the poor section. And when I hear there was something down the stairs when he said he was going to help the pensioners, I said, this is good. But when I have gone through this and couldn't understand it, I have time and it was and was able to explain it. Because I thought that when he said that he was going to give pensioners
the amount of money I thought we were talking about the people who pay, like the workers who pay their energy, and those things that they are usually draw out of your pay. I know you would be getting a pension. And I thought that these are the people he was talking about, and people like some teachers and principals who in the early years got pension, and at the time it was good, but inflation took it up. But when I find out he's talking about the private pensioners, and I'm saying, you are not talking about NS, so that, then you're not talking about anybody, because these are the majority of people that get pension in Jamaica. And I find it, and then people say it wasn't good. And I up to now, I don't know, like the election, you don't know who is. I don't know who's going to get the pension, because from what I gather, I am thinking about the wrong people. And they were talking down there. The MPs that were there, and I don't think some of them can explain what the Minister of Finance said, explaining to their constituency. Because Ralston is there, and he hardly could explain it. And I find it very ironical. And I am just going to say, if you're going to public life and you're really talking with them, you can keep on using your education to deal over the people's eyes. It's not right. And I am not going to say anything much until everybody in the budget makes their presentation. But I'm just speaking to that particular part that I think that, it's matter of people who get pension, then get a little money, that's for them. And they're with the rubbish administration is causing support in this country. My brother?
Yes, sir. I'm listening keenly. Don't want to miss a bit of it.
Yes, so, I am not, everybody has their opinion. And all of us have our time.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Nothing is wrong with that. But when somebody called my house, I said, I am listening to power to Ralston, because between Ralston and program and time and program, the must get to real what is it. And up to now, I called my accountant and even him can't explain it that I can explain it to somebody. I find it interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, the beautiful thing is that it's out there for all to see.
Yeah.
And who wants to know and who wants to figure out and to work it out and to understand. Just the data is available.
Yes, the data is available, my brother. And we shall see the opposition leader, the opposition finance spokesman is coming tomorrow. The opposition leader is coming Tuesday, and the Prime Minister is supposed to come on Thursday. And I think all of us should listen, because it doesn't make sense to get up something funds and when election was going on like it's a carnival season. It does not help the majority of people in the country, because that's what politics is all about. To lift people out of poverty like they do in China.
By the way, your line isn't the best though, TT. It's not the best one at all.
Yeah, man,
And I don't know why every time I call, it seems like they don't want to talk because we were, you know. But my brother, we talk again because I don't want to go on long, you know. But
You don't want to go on what?
I don't intend to go on long.
Long. Oh, okay.
But I would like to see for one more thing. You're up, man, that wants to go back to Africa. Yes, that just a while ago.
Yes.
I wonder which African country you want to go now because I am very concerned about some of the problems, some of the countries in Africa, like everywhere is happening, especially Nigeria, a country to which they are so where they are using religion and kidnapping people and demanding money from the government to release them. And when I look at in the parish in which I spend a lot of time, when people can call and say they're going to get violence on the school, and people shut down the school, and the police, and we have a police force and an army in the country that cannot deal with those problems.
No, they can, and they have. They did deal with that last one, that series of interruptions.
Well, I hope so, because this should never happen in our country. Never. Have a good day, my brother.
You do likewise. Thank you very much. Thanks for the call. All the best. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's Steve McDonald out of Toronto, Canada, having waited for 20 minutes and 51 seconds. Good afternoon. Thanks for your patience. Yeah.
No worries. Thank you very much. And I just want to say good afternoon to the wonderful people of Westmoreland, Sablamar, and also Lennox Bigots in Darlaston, and to my Manning's family. Last time I came on, I didn't say that, and I got into trouble. Anyway, I just want to say congratulations to you and the C-Bar team. I see that you're following in Manning's footsteps in the school challenge quiz. So.
Oh really? I wasn't even paying any attention to that. What happened?
Yeah, you guys actually won. It came down to what they call, I forgot what they call it. Sudden death. You guys answered the question and lost 2 points, and then it came down to sudden death. And your friend there was the moderator or the announcer.
Jean-Paul Menou.
He has a French name.
Jean-Paul Menou. Yes.
So, yeah, Jean-Paul. So you probably have to take him up for it if you guys had lost. So congratulations. It's nice to see you following in Manny's footsteps, which is good.
Serious business now.
Just what? And talk about serious. Well, this is not really serious. I see the U.S. House pass a law to get not a law, the vote to get rid of TikTok. Interestingly, they don't do the same for guns, eh? They're really ironic in terms of where their priorities are. But again, as I said, not really serious stuff. But coming home to serious stuff, though, you mentioned that the police had taken care of what was happening in Grange Hill. To the best of my knowledge, they didn't. The school was closed yesterday.
In Grange Hill? I'm not referring to Grange Hill. I was referring to the series some months ago. That series of troublemaking, people calling, taking up the phone and calling people and that kind of thing.
No, I think Tiki was seeing what was happening, what the thing that was happening in Westmoreland. I think that's what he was talking about.
Oh, so, well, some misunderstanding there then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was based on, and as you said, his line wasn't the best. So, but I'm pretty sure I heard Westmoreland, and in terms of what was happening. So, I think about 2 callers before or 3 spoke about Nigeria being a failed state, and ironically, this week we're dealing with Haiti. Interestingly, a school has to be closed in Grangeville, or two schools have to be closed in Grangeville, and people have to be shuttered in because gunmen have taken over.
No, they're not. They've not taken over. They have sent threats. They have threatening calls or whatever else.
Taking over is looking like.
No, that's not taken. That's not taken over. That's not taken over.
People are free to come out on the road, right? People are free to come out on the road. Parents are free to send their children to school. So yes, while it might not be like, well, I remember somebody talking about taking over. You're right, because I remember some time ago, probably about 10, 15 years ago, we heard that the gunmen were stopping the people coming into a community and searching their phones. I don't remember which community it was in town, but I remember that happening. But I digress. The police need to get a handle on what is happening in Grangeville. This has been going on for too long. For how long now? The police, they know of the different challenges that Grangeville have been having. I don't know if they've put in any additional outposts or anything like that.
Hold a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. RJR, Dina Group. It's like cross country invasion. The RJR, Galena Communications Group Cross Country Invasion, will be in the parish of St. Anne with Power Talk at Monique College, St. Anne on Thursday, March 14. Join Power 106 FM for a broadcast of the program from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we focus on the parish and speak to some of our cross-country partners. This broadcast of Power Talk is brought to you by Delect Foods, your recipe for happiness. Guardian General Insurance Jamaica Limited. Live safe, live easy. Honeybun, taste the magic. Massey Distribution Limited of Forceful Good. H&L Agro Grow Protect Office. H&L Rapid True Value. Start right, start here. INCA Jamaica Limited. The authorized dealers of Caterpillar Equipment, Mobile, John Deere, Metso, and Calmar in Jamaica. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in space. Partners Heart and Health. Your partners for life. Camden School of Medical Sciences Jamaica. CSMSJ. Where knowledge meets competence and humanity. And 5 Hub. Powered by J-Works Interactive Media.
In my heart, I know that you won't let your chosen people suffer. I know you'll never let us down. No. Many times I could have picked up a gun, I could have go out the street and play with gun. That's no fun, no. Sure ain't no fun, no, now. 'Cause I think what would happen if the other man thinks the same? Then bullets fall like rain. It's no fun, no. No, it's no fun. Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself. Only you can talk to them, Father, 'cause they listen to no one else, no. Come down, Father, come down.
Paris Hammond, come down, Father. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding. Let's allow Steve McDonald to conclude what he was saying. Are you still there?
By the way, Dervan, yeah, I'm here. Thank you. By the way, it was 19 degrees today, so you can come back up whenever you're ready. It's not cold again. So, but yeah, just going back to Grangeville, and as you play that song, "Come Down, Father," I'm appealing to the Ministry of Security to send down the police reinforcement and to take back the town of Grangeville, because what is happening is foolishness. We'll quick to wrap up. I noticed in the budget presentation, Minister Dr. Nigel Clark mentioned Protege and what they're now doing based on what Protege said, and reggae music playing in Kingston, and also I saw that the PM also put it on his Twitter page about Protege, and they answered Protege. I'm going to send a special appeal to Protege via this medium to ask him the next time he go on stage if he can appeal for a new hospital for the Sablama area, because the hospital is bursting at the seams. People are sleeping in the passageway, in the walkway, right? We need a new hospital in Sablama or an additional room. So I'm asking Protege, please, the next time he go on stage, if he can make that appeal for the people of Westmoreland. In addition, I'm also asking Protege if he can also make an appeal for increased NIS payment for people who are currently receiving NIS benefits, because it seems as if our government is deaf to certain people and only hear other people. So I'm asking these two I'm sending via your medium to Protege, so if you can make those requests on our behalf, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you again, Dervan, for the time, and all the best for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon now that the weather is getting better. Also,
All right. Thank you for the call. All the best. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Steve McDonald from Lennox Bigwoods and Savannah Lamar in Westmoreland, now residing in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Thank you very much for the call. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Some messages, WhatsApp messages. Patrick, let's see. Where did they start? Let's go up the line. Thanks to Mustard Seed, who will be assisting the 50 orphaned children from Haiti. I hope other private organizations and churches can do likewise. Sir Malcolm, it's great listening to you as you navigate your tongue through those French Haitian names. Sir Malcolm, where are the churches in Haiti and the civic organizations? I don't believe many Haitians dying, but looting and burning are taking place. We're just getting secondary news. And then a question, is Digicel a French company? No, they're not a French company. They're a global brand, and they operate in French-speaking, Spanish-speaking, and I believe as well Dutch-speaking countries. But they started right here in Jamaica, April, when was that again? April 2000 and something, 2001, was it? We'll double check that. So, right, so they do business in French-speaking, Dutch-speaking, Spanish-speaking, and obviously English-speaking countries as well. This one says, Lucky is saying decisive action on the Haitians. There are so many Jamaicans who believe the Haitians are poor and illiterate, but thanks to the caller for explaining otherwise. We only get Western news. Thank you, Patrick. Viziniri in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, says Dervan, until love overcomes, there will be wars. Dervan, there's no difference in the motive for what obtains in Palestine as that which obtains in Hispaniola. The racist supremacists are the overt and covert activists behind the possibility of genocide. There's absolutely nothing underhanded about that. So that's your interpretation, and you are free to have your own interpretation. Were you caught? Did you get caught? Thank you very much for your message. Cuban in Georgia sends us a rejoinder. He says, Sir Malcolm, we will not forget that Buggerwire sold out Marcus Garvey for a plate of food. Them love them belly. They want to eat and not work for it. Sir Malcolm, when last we service, the people of Jamaica, because all I see happening is debt servicing has become the norm, while the poor continue to bite the bullet and suck salt through a wooden spoon, says Cuban in Georgia. This one says, I am sorry for those who look up to TT. He called Simon and it was explained, but TT still saying he doesn't understand. Sorry for his followers. Let's see, this one says, good day to you, Sir Malcolm. Crimes are usually committed by people who failed to abide by the laws of society. On the other hand, crimes can either be violent or non-violent, depending on the level of physical conflict. The problem I have is why so many violent crimes being committed in this country. SMH. Message coming from Father Lee. Thank you for your message, Father Lee, and all the very best as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And let's see who else is messaging us here on Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers, all the students listening to us from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. And parents and guardians, do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. For those of you unable to get through on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, that usually means the line is busy. And because of how busy the lines have been, what we have done is to try and afford our callers the opportunity to express themselves to a point. And then when we have to go, which is what we did on a couple of occasions, just to bring the interaction to an end. And furthermore, I don't control the levers. I don't control the levers when it comes on to bringing myself on air. I'm not the one who does that, or taking myself off the air, or ending a call. That's not my purview. That's not my job here. There are people who are more qualified for that, who are in position, who have to do what they have to do. If even yours truly, if I go out of line in terms of going on, for example, beyond taking the break, they can just cut me just like that and move on. So there you go. Let's look at the time. Let's go to the break, our final break for today, and come back with more afterwards.
You're listening to Poro 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Case is on the move. The College of Agriculture, Science and Education in Portland is talking next level agriculture. How? Enter the drone, more efficient spraying, seeding, fertilizing, crop and animal surveillance. Yes, they still train teachers, agronomists, animal managers, lab doctors, vets, and now the drone pilot. Come fly with Case, 876-993-54368. Online at case.edu.jm. Case, creating opportunities for growth.
The Bible Speaks. 30 minutes of vitalizing motivation grounded in the Word of God. The Bible Speaks, showcasing soothing spiritual music from across the world. It's The Bible Speaks with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas every Sunday from 6:30 to 7 a.m. here on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Opal Shaw says, hi, Dervan. Always a pleasure to hear you and all your information given. Thank you. You're welcome. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And someone is calling through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. That person has been holding actually for, looks like 11 minutes and 36 seconds. So let's hear what this listener, now caller, has to say. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the listeners.
Good afternoon on their behalf.
I am saying, what is, the population of the African ethnicity people in Jamaica?
90 something percent.
Okay, so we can call it 95%.
You could.
For the sake of reason, let's just call it 90%.
Yes.
So can you imagine? You have 90% of the population in Jamaica working for the 10% of the people who are not ethnic, who are not of the African ethnicity. 90% population of African ethnic people work for the other 10% that are not of the African ethnicity. Or that look to you?
Well, I've never looked at it that way, and you're free to take a look at it and share with us what you get from that.
All right, look here now. If, for example, if you should check a country like India, would you expect to go into India and say the population of Indians working for another ethnicity like Europeans? The majority of the population working for another what you call ethnicity? Or if you go to China, would you expect to see the Chinese working for Europeans or another ethnicity?
So, yeah, well, I've been to China. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know much about Nelson Mandela, because one of the unfortunate things about us African people is that we have got most things not to be proud of ourselves as African people. So one of the things I have taken from Nelson Mandela is he made a speech one time and said that it is always good to know your history. You can't be proud of yourself if you do not know your history. And I observe that 360 degrees. Because I know that any Chinese in Jamaica will be proud to talk about China. Likewise, any other ethnicity will be proud to talk about the race, the country of their origin. But because it seems over the years we have been seeing this little girl with a swollen tummy and a fly on her lip. So that image seems to have been planted in our psyche. So we seem to have a little pride for our own homeland. How would you pronounce the word Haiti? How would you pronounce that word?
It is in French it's Haiti. In English it's Haiti.
I never know say a word of two pronunciation. I never know that, I think it's a word whichever language it is now, you just pronounce it as the language. Because I once heard someone call your program, and said that the name Haiti to change because as it suggests, it sounds like it's a Hatei. And I know that you know that it is not pronounced Haiti, it is pronounced IT. I know you know that,
Mm-hmm.
But you have never seen to correct anyone when they use the word Haiti. And even the people in the so-called Haiti.
No, Haiti is the anglicized version. Haiti is the anglicized version of the word, the pronunciation.
I don't buy that. I would have said Haiti.
But the Haitians say Haiti.
Right, so that's the pronunciation. It's a French word, so it's our English. What's our English type?
Many words have that I don't want to say privilege, but that scenario. They have that same scenario.
All right, the next thing now. You have the privilege to talk French. You have the privilege to speak. Well, I say privilege because you take time to learn your language. There was that time when I look back and say, well, Dervan, he learn African language, he learn French and Spanish. But you I notice now, our people live in both countries, Spanish-speaking countries, French-speaking countries, because they may capture places to and carry our people by the places they do. Now, like IT have this challenge right now, I think it will be a good opportunity, Like how they can speak the language of French. So they have to connect with people from IT and reason with them, get our people on the ground, as to what's going on the ground, from the people on the ground, as opposed to just wait on BBC and the local news to tell me what they feel like over here. And as a person they talk to you earlier, I say, these people give us the news, them give us what they want to give us. Because we have no only for oligarchs live at Haiti. Only for rich people live at Haiti. And then try to depict Haiti like it's a poor country. So we don't seem to even have much loyalty about it because a couple boat people come here and they must start to boy the whole Haiti will run to come to Jamaica. And we don't think say there might come a time when we might want to go knocking at somebody else's door, What do you think about that?
Knocking on somebody else's door?
Yes.
In what?
Those ideas and them coming on board, there might come a time when Jamaica will try to run from Jamaica. So who knows?
Oh, well, man's instincts will kick in, I would imagine. Survival.
The other thing to say more time said, man has to be protected from himself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so like how you come up with that thing there.
Yes.
How you justify that statement? How you justify that?
It's what I've seen, read, experienced, studied, researched.
So it's protect man from himself.
Man protects man from himself.
That's so now we hear, Dervan.
It is what it is.
But yet is man. He said man must be protected from himself. Yes, this man was the job to protect man from himself. How that sound to you?
Man must be protected from himself. Left to himself, man is perhaps the most destructive creature on the face of the planet.
Yeah, but you're repeating and justify you don't answer my question.
No, I don't. That's my way of answering the question.
So what's the answer? It's like someone that says this is my truth.
Man, it is a truth that man must be protected from himself. Think about it.
I think about it. That's what I'm talking about. It's the second time I'm calling you. All right, like I said this to you. And you love Mervis, you love Never Carter, you love Light. Rastline gets really ridiculed enough time, Rastline, me never go to college, I know if he expressed it, but now he's born in all of us. and maybe Rastline no articulate to put anything a certain way. I shame no people shame make them never want you about Africa, you know. They're embarrassed. So Miss Mervis don't call and talk about one dream, but she talk about for over 30 years. I want to ask her when she going, if she on her deathbed, and I wish she died and I watch this long because I watch she realized her dream. But I wonder if she like to know when she on her deathbed. She hears some voices in her head that say, look at these dreams we came to have you fulfill, and you rather die with them as opposed to going yourself and getting them done. I once heard a reader announce, I said, people call her more time and tell them, say, God tell them, say them to do this, and they call station and tell them the person at the station must do this. And the announcer was kind of tell them, say, whenever God call and tell them to do it, make sure you do it to yourself. So I am saying, if Marvis get some download from God, I think she the fittest person to carry the task out. She talk about some good things because I listen to her. But it's like she sit down and wait for her things to drop in her lap. God no one but living about in her, because the riches of the world, I would have got riches. I know define what she call God, but I use fair definition. But I'm saying she has this beautiful vision. She must can find people around her to bring her vision to life because she alone can, one man can't make the team work, you know. We need a collectivity to get team work. And the next thing to Dervan, you have a powerful medium.
Medium is all right. Medium is singular, media plural.
All right, you have a powerful medium where you did right now. You talk to millions of people. I ask you if you, I want you to question yourself when you go home later. If you think there's a better way you can use the medium to dispense what to be dispensed to the people. The people, they must sleepwalk now for decades. Dervan, they must sleepwalk. And only when I use information, it's to my, I am astounded how people still ignorant. So you have this medium, I want you to take a look at you. I want you to take a look in when you're going later and see if you're using the medium the best way you possibly can. Yes, I'm putting that out to you, Dervan.
No, I've long done that actually, deliberately so. I have.
What you can do that? What is you can do that?
You shall see what you shall see.
Come again?
You shall see what you shall see.
No, I see the question, man. I asked you, say, if you think you're doing the best, everything is doing the best you can. Everything, there's more that you can do. Tell me that.
There's always, we can always do more.
In a way, you're kind of a watchman, you know. And they must say the watchman sees danger and don't want the city. The burden and destruction of the nation is a watchman. What is the watchman we warning? And the city get destroyed. You know, carry a burden, you know. So in a way, you're a watchman, you know, and sometimes I wonder if you're watching on the side of the establishment or for the people. The people love you, you know how much praise and praise at the time. People love you and they look forward to you. We bring a lot of things from the colonial aspect. You know, talk things about Africa. You know, talk things Caribbean. And you know, talk things even much in terms of our even same Jamaican ethnicity.
You sound like a new listener.
Sound like a what?
A new listener. We're out of time. Thank you. Thank you very much for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Wednesday, the 13th of March, 2024. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm wishing everybody a safe and peaceful afternoon into evening, into night. Thank you.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
Good afternoon. I am Dervan Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Wednesday, March 13, 2024. Major police military operation in Grangehill, Westmoreland, in response to violent threats in the area. Parliamentary opposition